Hello, my name is Dan and I'm going to show my code for my project. The title is to use data mining method to analyze and make the prediction for the employee performance evaluation and attrition. And the code is written in Python and I'm using two main libraries. The first one is scikit-learn. This is the machine learning library, free open source free library from Python. And the other one is the decision tree visualization library. This is the library I downloaded from GitHub, which is for visualizing the decision tree. The main kit I'm using from these two libraries is the decision tree classifier algorithm. So this is the one that I mainly use. And this project, I split this main method in main three steps. The first one is to import the original data set. This data set I download from the website, which is the Exit Employee Survey from Australia TAFE organization. And this is in the CSV file format. So this is the path, and this statement is used for read the CSV file into the Panda data frame. And the next step, this part of the code is just to reset the display for print out the data frame with the predefined width and line width and maximum columns. I set it as 10. And the next step 2 is to pre-process the data, because from the original data set, some of the columns are pretty long because they are the original survey questions. In order to better plot it and analyze and print the data out, I have to rename it in a short name. And the second reason I have to pre-process the data is to replace those invalid values into none, because in some of the data in the original data set is empty, so I have to replace it with null. And the third one is the age. In that age column, a lot of them contain the special characters, which cannot be correctly processed by the library, by the code. So I have to remove those special characters from the column age. And I map the age into the different categories from 20 to 20 minus, or 21 to 25, 26 to 30, and so on. So this part is to map in the age into the different categories. So and this one is to rename those columns. For example, the different questions into mapping, rename the column's name from original quite long string of questions into a short name of the column. So it's easy to print and analyze later. The step 3 is the statistic analyze, and I made some of these statistics and also plot the data into a diagram. And the first one I did is to compare the attrition reason, because in the original data there are like 8 different reasons of the attrition. Also included normal retirement, reassignment, or a termination, or some transfer, something like that. So I want to analyze what's the rate of the normal reassignment in those employee exit data. And the second one, this I commented out, but this piece of data is for the plotting. I plotted in in a pie chart, and I set the title as attrition rate. So the next one, I want to filter out the data with the reason as resignation. So this is the filter I set, and then I want to calculate those degree or agree from those answers under this piece of data. So we can see what would be the main factors for the attrition of resignation. And here I categorize those data and I count those numbers from each survey questions. And because in the survey answers, the questions, the answer of the question, they have strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. So to make things easier, I just merge like all the agree and strongly agree as total agree, and also the disagree and the strongly disagree, I just put them both in under total disagree category. And the next step is I want to see how the age will be affected by, the effect by the age from the data. So I group by age, which is not now, and I count the numbers, and I plot it in a pie chart, and also in the descending order. And this is the title. I also set the title as attrition rate by age, and this piece of code is to plot the diagram on screen. And the next is to use the decision tree classification for prediction and analysis. There are, as I said, there are quite a few reasons for the ceasing employment. So in order to make it easier to categorize them, so I recategorize them into two main options, the categories resignation and others. So this is what I did. And the next main step is to select the several factors. So I filter out this. This is the code to select the factors. I select salary satisfaction, promotion, environment satisfaction, and work-life balance. These four main factors. And because the decision tree algorithm, this library, it can only be calculated by the numbers, decimals, or integers. So in the original data set, the value of these four columns are all string. So I have to encode data from the string into the integer variable, so the decision tree library can correctly process those data. This is this piece of code useful. And the next one is to split the data sets into the train and test. And I split the data randomly into the 80% for training and 20% for testing. So this is the recommend rate for how to split the data from the best practice. And the next one is to use the decision tree to train the data. And so this is the library I used, decision tree classifier, and I set the maximum depth of the decision tree as 4. And this step is to use the model to make the predictions with the testing data. And then this is to print out the result and the report. I basically print out three main factors. The first one is the misclassified samples, and the next one is to this is the key thing I'm looking for, the accuracy. And the next step, and the last step, is to visualize the decision tree with the prediction path highlighted. So here I'm use the decision tree VIZ. This is a library I downloaded from GitHub, as I mentioned before, and this is how I use this library to feed in the input data from my data set. And the target is to analyze the attrition reason. So it's been categorized in two main categories, as I previously mentioned. So one is the others, or is either the others, or is because of the resignation. And this is to plot the diagram in the web browser. So this is all the code I have done for analyzing this data set. Thank you.